Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. So good evening. What I want you to do is imagine yourself at a party, and someone comes up to you and asks you, what do you do? That's a simple question to answer, isn't it? But what if one of their questions is, what is your purpose? Possibly, you quickly notice a friend across the room and dash off to greet them rather than stay back and continue that conversation. Because this question, even when it is asked in the privacy of your own mind, sometimes is not an easy one to answer. Purpose is a word that we all nod to and think that we understand it. But it is a much bigger word. The dictionary defines it as the reason for which something is done, created, or to which something exists. When the something you're referring to is a human being, it gets a little bit more complicated than that. So researchers in the University of California at Berkeley define purpose as an abiding intention to achieve a long-term goal that is both personally meaningful and makes a positive mark on the world. Some big words there. However, when you're actually trying to live this purpose, it's difficult to do this with the clarity that a definition can possibly give you. And yes, we grow that it should be easy. We grow up believing that it should be easy. We're not to be blamed for that. From a very young age, the stories that we're told seem to make it look like purpose is easy. Hollywood gives us the perfect nugget of a hero's journey, where they start with intention, they overcome some drama, prepare for something through montages, and then the important, messy middle parts are lost in perfect scenes that describe something that real life would struggle to define. Even beyond movies, in real life, when we hear about people for the first time, it's when they've already become famous, when they're already somebody who you can see the success very clearly of. But what we forget to understand is we've just seen the highlight reels of people, while we easily skipped through the painful season of struggles. And then we compare our lives to such lives that we are aware of and find ourselves struggling to make the two meet and match and probably feel that we're not fulfilling our purpose. Because real life is slower, change is slow, and decisions we make are often messy. And the purpose is not built through a single day or through a chapter that is newsworthy of our lives. It is built through the doubts, the fears, and the indecisions that we go through on a daily basis. I spent over 20 years building somewhat a successful career. On the surface level, it looked complete. But deep inside, my soul was restless. It did not feel purposeful or fulfilling. I was building a career, but I was not building the life that I would be proud to live. Then came an opening. It was not a perfect plan, but it seemed to be a pivotal moment, a now or never kind of moment, where I left that career. Heart pounding, not really sure what's going to happen next. And now, close to 2 years later, I'm standing here and speaking to you. It feels surreal. Being on a TED Talk was part of my bucket list, and here it is, happening so fast, and I didn't even plan as such for it to happen. The reality is, most of us go through similar moments. In Japan, they have a beautiful name for this. Many of you may be familiar with it. It's called ikigai. Ikigai is not something that you're born knowing. It's described as something you grow into. It's doing what you love and doing something that you're good at. Beyond that, it's also something that the world needs and it sustains you. And often these things start very small. It's a moment of curiosity, a desire to grow, a question you may ask yourselves. And once we notice that spark, I'm getting goosebumps. Once we build the desire to build our purpose, it's not something that you can unsee or shift through very quickly. We stop simply walking through open doors, as life often just leads us from one place to the other, but we begin building with purpose. But this shift requires a significant slowdown to think, to make choices. And that means passing through an uncomfortable place, I like to call the messy middle, where nothing feels clear yet. Here, clarity does not come easily in nicely, neatly, small packages that you can pick up and munch on, whether for dopamine or for other reasons. It comes very slowly, something that is in real time at life speed. And while you wait, stewing in this uncertainty that feels like you're unraveling, this place shakes you because it takes away your sense of identity. You're no longer the person you used to be, and you're yet to become the person you were meant to be. And that fog, the human mind seeks answers, and it demands certainty. The uncertainty that we face feels very uncomfortable. And it's not only because of the emotional element, it's also biological. The amygdala, the oldest part of your brain, is meant to detect threats. It tells you how to survive now. It doesn't care about a 5-year plan for your future. Future planning, finding the meaning, regulating your emotion, those are all parts of the newer parts of our brain called the prefrontal cortex. And hence, the human condition is very special in looking for this purpose, because it really takes patience and practice to build up towards purpose. It demands more than survival, while your prefrontal cortex is actually asking you to go beyond and grow. And when we are caught in these uncertain places, often the brain panics. You think that the next 2 steps that you're going to choose between are going to suddenly be life-defining moments. They're going to choose what path you're going to walk on, even if it is something very, very simple as to which email to respond to for first. We spiral, we second guess in these places, and often you will find yourself procrastinating. And it's not because you're lazy, it's just because you're afraid to make the wrong decision. What we really want in these moments is a guarantee, maybe a flashing neon sign that says, "This way to your best life." That comes with some satisfaction guarantee and possibly even a free return policy. But life does not hand guarantees. It does not hand out guarantees. And purpose, when being built, definitely does not feel certain. This is not the end to the story. Studies done by many researchers, such as Freestone, Miguel Dugas, tell us that it's not uncertainty that is actually difficult to bear. What is difficult to understand is our intolerance of it. So the more we accept uncertainty as a part of life, the more we can remain flexible, grounded, and open to step into the next blurry vision that we may have. Building purpose also means realizing it is not something you figure out overnight or a destination you arrive at, nor is it a moment of certainty that you stumble upon. I remember sitting alone with that resignation letter a couple of years ago. On the outside, I may have looked calm, but my mind was a storm. "What are you doing?" it whispered. "Are you sure you're not making a mistake?" But yet another quieter voice, that was my own, insisted on asking, what if this is the first true step towards the life you wish to live, the real life that you've always envisioned? Many of us cope by putting on masks during these times. We act like we have it all figured out. Sometimes these masks are for the outside world, but often they are to protect our own selves from our own doubts, our own fears. I know I did, and probably still do. There were moments where I seemed to want some sort of certainty, to seem confident, all-knowing, unshaken. Even when inside, I was actually trying to understand my own path. Thankfully, those of us who feel this way are not alone. Research by Brené Brown and many other scholars shows us that this is normal behavior for humans during times of uncertainty, to put on your armor. We mask vulnerability during these times, make it look like everything is okay. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is a bridge to real connections with others and with ourselves. Purpose is built in relationships with the world you have around you. Through the people you meet, the experiences you have, the conversations that shift something significant internally. It unfolds not in isolation, but through connection, exploration, and allowing yourself to be changed. Experiencing building my own purpose, living it, humbled me more than any theories ever could. And maybe that is why I could talk about it for hours. And if you put your mind to it, possibly so can you. Maybe you came here tonight to support someone. Maybe you came here to share or hear a new idea. Maybe you came because you're searching for something more. Whatever brought you here, even a small choice, even a quiet instinct, carries meaning. It could become the building block of your purpose. So let us not leave purpose as just a beautiful idea for others to find. Let us build our own. That is my invitation to you. Even if the messy middle seems like a never-ending path, keep building your purpose anyway. Build it through the choices you make each day. Thank you.